Hello folks, this is Jason from Mysterious Wilderness. Today, we're discussing the Bennington Triangle, one of Vermont's most mysterious and chilling locations. This eerie region has been the site of unexplained disappearances, strange sightings, and bizarre encounters. Over the span of just a few years, multiple people vanished without a trace, leaving behind no clues, no evidence, only questions. But this isn't just a modern mystery. The land itself has a haunted past, with tales stretching back centuries. Long before the strange disappearances and the Bennington Triangle mystery, Glastenbury Mountain was already a place of legend and fear. It sits at the heart of the Green Mountain National Forest, a region that was once bustling with the sounds of sawmills and train whistles, as the logging industry flourished in the late 19th century. The remote town of Glastenbury grew rapidly during this time, with railroads pushing deep into the forest to harvest the region's prized timber. But the wealth that the forest offered came at a cost. By the 1890s, the logging industry had stripped the land bare, leading to erosion, devastating floods, and ultimately the collapse of the local economy. By the turn of the century, the towns surrounding Glastenbury were abandoned. The forest slowly began to reclaim what was left. Glastenbury itself became a ghost town, a relic of a forgotten era, with only a handful of structures still standing, swallowed by time and the wilderness. Between 1945 and 1950, the already eerie reputation of Glastenbury Mountain took a dark turn. Over the span of 5 years, a series of unexplained disappearances baffled locals and authorities alike. 5 people, young and old, vanished in and around the Bennington Triangle, leaving behind no trace, no clues, and only a growing sense of dread. The victims seemed to have been swallowed by the wilderness itself, and despite extensive searches, not a single definitive answer has been found. The first to vanish was Mitty Rivers, an experienced 75-year-old hunting guide, on November 12, 1945. Leading a group of hunters through the familiar trails of Glastenbury, Rivers walked ahead of the group, as he had done countless times before. But this time, he never returned. Despite days of searching by experienced hunters and local authorities, no trace of Rivers was found, not a single clue as to what happened to him. It was as if he simply walked into the forest and disappeared into thin air. A little over a year later, on December 1st, 1946, the most high-profile case unfolded. Paula Weldon, a college student from Bennington College, decided to hike the long trail alone. Multiple witnesses saw her along the trail, but after passing the last known hiker, she was never seen again. Her disappearance triggered a massive search operation involving hundreds of volunteers, FBI agents, and even psychics. But not a single clue surfaced. Her case became a national sensation, but despite the attention, it only deepened the mystery of the Bennington Triangle. In 1949, a disappearance unlike any other took place. James Tedford, a war veteran, vanished while on a bus. Tedford was traveling from a family visit back to his residence at Bennington Soldiers' Home. According to fellow passengers, Tedford was seated quietly during the ride. But when the bus reached its final stop, Tedford was gone, his seat empty. His belongings, including his luggage and an open timetable, were still on board. But Tedford himself had disappeared somewhere along the route without anyone seeing him leave. In 1950, 2 more disappearances closed out the chapter on this eerie series of events. In October, an 8-year-old Paul Jepson vanished while playing near his family's truck. Despite a thorough search, including the use of bloodhounds, no trace of Paul was ever found. Just 2 weeks later, Frida Langer, an experienced hiker, vanished during a camping trip with her cousin. Unlike the others, Frida's body was found 7 months later, in an area that had already been searched. The condition of her body offered no clues, and her death remains as mysterious as the other disappearances. 5 disappearances spread across 5 years, with no trace left behind. Despite the efforts of search teams, police, and even FBI, the wilderness of the Bennington Triangle offered no answers. What is it about this region that draws people in, only to take them away forever? Was it something lurking in the trees? Or is there an even darker force at play? The disappearances within the Bennington Triangle have sparked numerous theories over the years. Some attribute these vanishings to supernatural forces, while others believe they may be the result of more earthly yet equally sinister threats. Let's explore the most chilling possibilities and the strange phenomena tied to this mysterious region. First, we have one of the oldest explanations for the strange happenings in the Bennington Triangle: the idea that Glastenbury Mountain is cursed. Long before modern settlers arrived, the native Abenaki tribe of the region considered the mountain sacred, but also dangerous. According to their legends, the mountain was home to dark spirits, and they warned people never to venture too far into its depths. Some people believe these spirits may still haunt the land today, taking those who wander into their domain. One particular legend speaks of a rock formation at the summit of the mountain, believed to be the gateway to another world. Those who step too close to it are said to be drawn in, never to return. Could this ancient curse be responsible for the mysterious disappearances that have plagued the region? Some locals still avoid the area, claiming that the mountain has an unnatural power, a power that refuses to let its victims go. Among the eerie tales tied to the Bennington Triangle, one legend stands out: the Bennington Monster. Described as a towering Bigfoot-like creature, this cryptid has been sighted lurking in the dark woods around Glastenbury Mountain for centuries. Standing at an estimated 8 feet tall, the Bennington Monster is said to be covered in dark, matted fur, with glowing eyes that pierce through the mist. But unlike other cryptids that shy away from human contact, this creature is rumored to be far more aggressive. In 1943, a group of loggers working near Glastenbury Mountain reported an encounter that would cement the legend of the Bennington Monster in local lore. According to their account, the loggers were deep in the woods, miles from civilization, when they began hearing strange, heavy footsteps echoing through the trees. At first, they thought it was a bear, but what emerged from the forest was something far more terrifying. Described as standing over 8 foot tall, with long arms and glowing eyes, the creature let out a blood-curdling scream, sending the men running for their lives. They abandoned their equipment and didn't return for days. But when the loggers did return, they found massive footprints in the mud, prints too large to be those of a known animal in the area. The encounter was shared widely among the local community, and the story of the Bennington Monster began to take hold. Though many dismissed it as a tale born of isolation and fear. Those who had heard the screams that night were convinced something unnatural was out there in the woods. The Bennington Monster didn't vanish with the logger's tale. Sightings continued throughout the 20th century, with each report more unsettling than the last. In 1967, a group of hunters reported hearing loud roars and finding deep, clawed footprints in the snow while tracking deer near Glastenbury. They described the footprints as being over 16 inches long and leading deep into the forest. But as they followed the trail, the sounds became more intense, and they eventually fled the area out of fear for their safety. One particularly eerie sighting came in the late 1970s, when a hunter claimed to have seen the creature itself. According to his story, he was tracking game when he heard a series of low growls nearby. Turning, he saw a massive figure, much larger than a human, moving silently through the trees. The creature paused for a moment, locking eyes with him, before disappearing into the shadows. The hunter refused to return to the area, shaken by the encounter, convinced that the creature was not an animal, but something far more intelligent. More recent sightings include reports of strange lights hovering over the treetops, often followed by the sound of heavy footsteps or low growls. Some hikers describe an overwhelming feeling of being watched, as though something is tracking them through the forest. These encounters, while unsettling, add to the legend of the Bennington Monster, a creature that seems to defy the boundaries of nature, evading capture and disappearing as quickly as it appears. Could the Bennington Monster be the reason for the strange disappearances in the Bennington Triangle? Some cryptid researchers believe that the creature is not just a passive observer, but a predator, an apex creature that has lived in the depths of Glastenbury's forest for generations, avoiding human detection except for these fleeting encounters. If true, this would make the Bennington Monster not just a local legend, but a potential explanation for the people who have vanished without a trace. So, what do you think? Is the Bennington Monster a mere figment of overactive imaginations? Or could there be a massive cryptid lurking in the wilderness, waiting to strike again? As with many legends, the truth is elusive, but the mystery of the Bennington Triangle grows deeper with each sighting and each strange disappearance. The Bennington Triangle is also known for its UFO activity, with many reports of unexplained lights in the sky, strange aerial phenomena, and even possible alien abductions. Starting in the 1940s, around the same time as the disappearances, locals reported seeing glowing orbs and disc-shaped objects hovering above the mountains. Could these mysterious lights be connected to the people who vanished? These UFO sightings often coincide with unexplained power outages and strange electromagnetic disturbances in the area. Witnesses have described seeing beams of light descend from the sky, illuminating the forest below, followed by an eerie silence. Could these vanishings be the work of extraterrestrial visitors, taking people for unknown reasons? It wouldn't be the first time such theories have been proposed. Ufologists have drawn comparisons to other high-profile alien abduction cases, such as the Rendlesham Forest incident and the Pascagoula abductions, suggesting that the Bennington Triangle could be a similar hotspot for alien activity. Another theory suggests that the Bennington Triangle may be located within an electromagnetic vortex, a place where the Earth's natural magnetic fields are so strong that they disrupt time and space. These areas, known as vile vortices, are believed to cause strange phenomena like time slips, disorientation, and even spontaneous disappearances. These vortices are thought to warp the physical world, bending the laws of nature and causing people to step into an alternate dimension or different time period without even realizing it. Some researchers believe that those who vanished in the Bennington Triangle may have fallen victim to this phenomenon, inadvertently walking into another reality, one from which they could never return. Similar theories have been proposed for disappearances in places like the Bermuda Triangle and Japan's Devil's Sea, where ships and planes have mysteriously vanished, leaving no trace behind. Beyond the strange disappearances, the Bennington Triangle is also the home to a variety of eerie encounters. For decades, hikers and locals alike have reported strange phenomena that defy explanation. Everything from ghostly apparitions and unexplained sounds to feelings of intense unease while traveling through the forest. Could these bizarre experiences be tied to the same forces that caused the disappearances? One of the most common reports from visitors to the area is the appearance of strange lights in the forest. These unexplained orbs have been seen hovering just above treetops or floating along the ground, often in complete silence. Described as glowing spheres or flashing lights, they vanish as quickly as they appear, leaving those who witness them with a sense of deep unease. Could these be some form of natural phenomenon, or do they hint at something more supernatural lurking within the triangle? Unexplained sounds are another feature of the Bennington Triangle. Some report hearing what can only be described as disembodied voices, faint but clear, echoing through the forest. Others claim to hear whispers, footsteps, or heavy breathing coming from behind them, only to find they're completely alone when they turn around. In one account, a group of hikers heard the sound of drums beating in the distance, only to vanish as they attempted to follow the noise. Could these sounds be the echoes of those who vanished? Or is something playing tricks on the minds of those who dare enter? Even more unsettling are the apparitions that have been spotted in the Bennington Triangle. Witnesses describe seeing shadowy figures moving through the forest, figures that seem human at first, but vanish before their eyes. Some have even reported seeing full-bodied apparitions wandering aimlessly along the old logging trails. One local claimed to have seen a woman in a long dress standing on a hillside, only for her to disappear into thin air when approached. Are these the spirits of those who vanished, or are they something else entirely? Perhaps tied to the mountain's haunted past? For many who visit the Bennington Triangle, it's not just what they see or hear that unsettles them, it's what they feel. Hikers often report a growing sense of unease as they travel deeper into the forest, a sensation of being constantly watched by something just beyond sight. Some describe it as the feeling of an invisible presence following their every move. Others have mentioned experiencing dizziness, nausea, or a sudden urge to leave the area, as though they were being forced out by an unseen force. Could this be the result of the alleged energy vortex, or something more malevolent lurking in the woods? The Bennington Triangle is a place where reality seems to bend, where the wilderness holds secrets that may never be fully uncovered. From the chilling disappearances of Mitty Rivers and Paula Welton to the unexplained phenomena that have haunted this region for generations, one thing is certain: the Bennington Triangle is not a place for the faint of heart. It's a land where the natural world and the unknown collide. A place where you can walk into the woods and simply vanish without a trace. Could these disappearances be the work of a predator lurking in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike? Or is it possible that the Bennington Triangle is home to something far more supernatural, a creature from legend, a hidden electromagnetic force, or even a curse that has plagued the land for centuries? We may never know the truth, but the stories continue to echo through the forest, drawing those brave enough to explore its forbidden wilderness. So, what do you think? Are the disappearances in the Bennington Triangle the result of natural causes, or is there something more sinister at play? Share your thoughts and theories with us in the comments below. And if you're fascinated by stories like this, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more journeys into the unknown, right here on Mysterious Wilderness.